morning. Welcome everybody. It's a lovely morning for our walk. This morning we're going to a 19th century cottage in Spring Lane called Yew Tree Cottage. I believe the origins of the cottage may be older than that. It's by kind invitation of Mr. and Mrs. David and Denise Molyneaux. On the way we can go along St Vigor Way to allotments, Hill Lane and Spring Lane, and on the way back we'll go along Spring Lane and the recreation ground. As we've got to be there, we'll have just 2 short stops on the way, and today we're going to come back, if you can make it, to the community centre for tea and a chat about 11:30 when we finish. Well, for newcomers, first I'll introduce the community centre. The stone was laid by Mr. Mike Wright, 1991. You see it in the entrance foyer there, room after the astronomer and the Duchess of Gloucester room. She did the official opening. On the top, you see a donation from the twinning of the French cockerel. We can go along now to St Vigor Way and walk along the Hill Way, which we know was named after the Colden Common twinning village in Normandy. It's near Caen. And Colden Common has the oldest twinning association in Hampshire. Across the road, you see when the recreation ground was established after the community centre was built, about 1991 and the years after. That was called a central garden, established a bit later on, and it's recently been cleared of all the overgrown plants, and the Scouts and other children's groups have put poppies in there to commemorate the anniversary of the First World War. Throughout the country there's planting of poppies, and in other areas of the village you may see poppies coming up. Off St Vigor Way there are many little closes, birch close, ash close, hazel close, named after trees, and they've got all little greens, create a nice little sort of community and rural atmosphere. We're going to walk through Birch Close and cross into the top of Hill Lane, and we'll have a little stop there.
Yeah. Very nice and ready for beginning yours. They are beautifully looked after.
We can have a little stop here. I picked this point because we're in the shade here rather than further along. An advantage of Colden Common is there a network of little paths and footpaths throughout the village. Like you can go from the recreation ground along here to Church Lane. There's another one parallel where we walk along Birch Close and go along down to Brickmakers Road. The advantage of Colden Common. As you see, lots of little greeneries, trees. Hill Lane, the allotments were given to Colden Common for the labouring poor, the charity, in 1855. They can't be built on, and now there are over 60 allotment holders. Hill Lane is one of the oldest lanes in the village. It's an unmade road, and there are still 3 of the original homes in the village. Along here, on the left, where the roses are, there used to be an old chapel, and the previous occasion, the gentleman let us look inside his garage. You could still see one of the oval windows. At the end of the cottage, at the end of the lane, it's called Lilac Cottage, and the gentleman, by coincidence, came out. I told him we were coming, and he showed the deed to his house, 1817. Yeah. He's built a porch there, you can see it when we pass by, of oak beams. I believe there are no nails or anything holding it together, or with a traditional shingle roof. In Spring Lane, on the left is the Rising Sun pub, and that I think was named in the Colden Common history in 1871. It may have been there before. The Methodist chapel is an inscription on the stone, 1866 it was established. It's a primitive Methodist chapel. Along to the right is now Spring House. It's formerly called the Rosary. I think it was built by a businessman from Winchester and had lovely gardens. Still see a few of the mature and tall trees there. We can carry along now into Spring Lane and into Yew Tree Cottage, and I'll leave Mr. and Mrs. Molyneaux to give an introduction to their home and garden.
This must be the fastest lane.
Yes, very true, yes. Yeah, I often wondered why it was called Hill Lane.
Somebody called Hill.
Yes.
Certainly not in the
And apparently I believe there's an older woodman's yard further along at the end here at Hill Lane, further on.
Redmond, yeah. Whenever we were around there, this is how it fit there. There used to be a door there. Oh, right. In a day like this, you'd be sat there all day.
Oh, yeah, on a kitchen chair.
On a kitchen chair.
Oh.
Yeah. This was the flat.
Yes, but they normally have extras there, or at least they did do.
Yes, yes, they have had.
I've not seen them for a long time.
This is where next door was 4 and 5.
So this is the side.
And I've done that. I don't know where to find now. Yeah. Oh, that's what it's called, flyer, isn't it? Isn't that right? I've done that with
You get the prize first. Come in.
Enjoy the garden.
Hello, I'm sitting around because I live in the city.
Yes, I see you about.
Yes, yes, hello.
Hello, I'm Jenny Sutton. Right. I'm having a. You've just taken over, haven't you?
Oh, no.
Oh no, you're not. No, I'm the Monday. You're right.
David, you've kindly let us come and see their lovely, said, garden and home. I'm not quite sure how we're going to arrange it, because in the home there's sort of just two small rooms with low ceilings, so we may get the impression of what an older home is like. Yes, but maybe in the 2 or 3 small groups look inside, while the rest of the group, I think, can look around the garden.
Wander around.
But I don't know, David, you just want to give a little bit of knowledge about what you know. Yes.
The typical Victorian workman's cottage, as far as we know. Originally a 2 up 2 down. The 4 rooms facing the road, all off. Presumably there was a scullery on the back with a sink and a copper and a log straw, and possibly, even if you were luxurious, indoor loo of the bucket variety. And if you weren't lucky, it was up the garden. We don't know when it was. That dates back to. We've got a thing called a deed, what's it called? Deed of enfranchisement is the first oldest document in the deeds, which presumably gives the land occupier legal title to the land, because this was all common land in the parish of Twyford, and it was occupied by all sorts of things, you know, chicken houses and buildings and illegal houses and all the rest of it, and they rationalised it in the 19th century and gave ownership to presumably mostly to the occupiers, either that or chucked them off, I don't know which. And I think the deed of enfranchisement gave this guy for £18 legal title to the land, and following year the house was sold. What we don't know is whether the house was here when he took over the land legally, or whether he built the house and then sold it. You'd have to go back to some older maps, and I haven't done that, to see whether the house was here illegally on common land before 1869. The original house is just 2 up, 2 down. This chunk on the back was stuck on, we don't know when, there's no records, late 18th century, early 19th century perhaps, and that's another bedroom and a kitchen. And then the flat roof section was put on after World War II, and that's a bathroom and an extension to the land, so it's grown in bits like houses do.
So that would have been around about
After the war, probably.
Yeah.
We're not sure, there's no records. And that's it. The original plot was, this is on the maps in the archive, this is plot 50. They're all numbered before they were legalised, and that is plot 51, that strip. And that was bought in the 1930s, I think, from the Albreys, who used to live in the 2 houses at the end of Boys Lane, opposite the end of Boys Lane, there were 2 old cottages. And this plot was bought off them in the 1930s, so now it's half an acre. That's about it really. It's a very working kind of cottage. Solid walls, no damp course. Well, it's had silicone injection, but we don't know whether it's working or not. No insulation in the roof. So we have damp problems, you know. Not serious, but we do have damp problems. Keep control going, that's it. That's about it for the house.
Yes, there was that strange business where this piece of land was at one time a coal yard, a drapers.
There are vague mentions in the deeds of things like drapers and coal yards and whatever. We don't really know whether it applies to this plot or the ones next door, because there was nothing between here and the 2 cottages over the main road. It was all divided up into small plots. Goodness knows what they were used for. You might find it in the records, but I don't know.
Perhaps they were in competition with Rogers' coal yard.
Possibly, yes. That was a coal yard at one time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Even when you were here.
Oh, God.
Denise has been here since 1963, so she's kind of used to the place, and I've been here for about 25 years now. So I'm the new boy.
Yes.
Right. That's about it. Very old new boy. So that's about it. You're very welcome to walk around the garden. There are paths all around the back and everywhere. And equally, because it's nice and dry, you're very welcome to walk around the house. If you go into the kitchen, you'll see how little Victorian houses were. The kitchen fittings are all circa 1960 when Denise and John came here and sort of did it up. But apart from a new cooker and a fridge, it's as it was in 1960. Got a built-in larder, which our family are very jealous of. Our 2 daughters would love a built-in larder, wouldn't they? Turn right, down the corridor, past our other diddy bathroom, into the lounge, and you can go right down, across the lounge, across the front hallway, 3 feet square, into the dining room, and for God's sake don't bang your head on the door of it, because it's a step up between the dining room and the kitchen, so you have to duck.
Yes.
Yes, you will have to duck. If you want to go upstairs and have a look at, it's all fairly orderly, it's 3 bedrooms. But I would warn you, the stairs are steep and narrow, as handrail, and there's a glass-fronted door at the bottom of the stairs, so please don't fall down the stairs and shred it.
The other thing to worry about is don't fall in the duck pond.
Oh yes, if you walk that, well, I've left the duck pond, the duck gate shut.
Right.
Should we open it so people can walk around?
No.
Probably not,
leave
because
it shut.
we've only got 2 ducks now. They're ornamental ducks. There's a pochard and a whistle, but they're running down, and we're waiting for them to peg out, frankly.
Yes, well,
Denise
we
has
can't
kept
really
ducks for like
replace them,
40 years, ornamental ducks. And,
a shame, but
yeah. But it's getting a bit of a problem. Cleaning the pond is a pain.
We've only got 2 chickens left too,
Yeah,
but we'll probably
we'll
be
get some
adding
more
to
chickens,
those
I think.
sometime.
They're right at the top of the garden. And you can walk around what we call the night run, which is the fox-proof bit right in the back right-hand corner. The gate is open. You can wander in there. It's our resident Amazon jungle, basically. That's just for $2, would you believe? So,
It was a lot.
One.
Yes, that's where the work's done there. Go in. Oh,
Thank you.
We've had one or two goes at it, and I don't recommend it.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
we now have a grand kitchen. We're in that bedroom and there is
Yeah.
Just prove you still can.
It's homely.
It's
not posh. It's
Yeah,
very
it's
nice
just-
posh. It's just homely.
Very much. I mean, you must have
Very cosy, isn't it?
Lovely.
Yes. It's a nice room, actually.
But then it yeah.
Not fertility, correct, no wrong.
But they self-seed, don't they?
Yeah, well,
Tarred paper on the outside walls, but never thought to do it on in the middle of the house. Should have done, it might have helped. There you go, get kids out. One way traffic, we're going around the wrong way.
bag of frozen peas, please.
Leave the valley.
No, it's